Hello guys, good evening to all. This is Mike, Mr. Typhoon Padua, returning to our latest update on Tropical Storm Francisco and Gardo. This is the new TC that entered port briefly and is already outside of the Philippine area of responsibility. It's just a quick flyby over the northeastern edge of the Philippine area of responsibility, and it's now moving towards the coastal waters of southern Japan, dissipating, as well as Francisco. And this is for this late Friday evening, June 26, 2026 English version, brought to you by Typhoon 2000 and Naga College Foundation. And we'd like to thank our partners, 𝗗𝗶𝗀𝗶𝗺𝗶𝗵, and the local government of Naga City, headed by our Honorable Mayor 𝗗𝗶𝗀𝗶𝗺𝗿 and our Honorable Vice Mayor 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗵𝗏𝗍𝗏. Well, it looks like we are gearing towards another busy week. There are a couple of tropical cyclones that are expected to form. Okay, but the first one is still at medium chance of developing. But the European model is keen or very aggressive in developing this. But it's a very weak system crossing the Philippines, central Philippines to be exact, southern Luzon, within the next 3 to 4 days. So we are going to observe this if it will become a reality, but rest assured that we are going to give you the very latest beginning today until the next couple of days. And it's going to be a week of thunderstorms, rain showers, because of the approaching wet phase of the monsoon oscillation, which will enhance more thunderstorms, enhance more rainfall within the monsoon, the southwest monsoon, the habagat. And also there's another system that is forming over the Marshall Islands that's already 95W and is expected to roam the whole of the Western Pacific, passing over northern northernmost part of Marianas, over Agrihan, and moving towards the either Taiwan or the southern islands of Japan. So these are two potential suspects that we are going to observe, to monitor within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So let's start now. Here's the show to you the latest fast animation from University of Wisconsin from their Himawari 9 satellite loop. And right now, here's the remnants of Tropical Storm Mekkhala. You can see the ghostly counterclockwise low-level clouds passing over the northern part of the Ryukyus as it passed quickly over the western or northwestern part of the coastal waters of Okinawa during the past 12 hours. And it's now approaching the coastal waters of southern Japan. So it will pass here. Expect more thunderstorms here over the whole island, the whole islands of Japan within the next 24 hours, since the system is moving so fast, around 40 kilometers per hour, 35 kilometers per hour northeast. And Gardo, which is currently over here, but it's already being absorbed by this fast-moving frontal system, the very small or midget tropical storm with an international name Higos just passed here, and right now it's currently here as a decaying system as well. So it didn't have some Fujiwara, just a little bit, but it's a separate system, very small. It has been absorbed by this fast-moving frontal system as it moved towards the southern tip of Honshu with a speed of also around 65 kph towards the northeast. So this is gonna be the end of this twin systems, which passed over the North Philippine Sea without any direct effects to our country, except for the northeast southwest monsoon. Except for the southwest monsoon, but it's starting to weaken. And we are observing this pulsating cloudiness in the vicinity of Palau. And Japan Meteorological Agency already issued a low pressure system here. And we will observe this as well. because the European model is keen enough of developing this for the past 2 runs. They are forecasting this 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶. Okay, let me show to you. They're showing this 𝗶𝗶𝗶 to track towards southern Luzon within the next 3 days. So we are going to monitor that one, and we have another one here. Let me change the graphics. Okay, it's currently the vicinity of this area. There's another 𝗶𝗶𝗶 here that is expected to travel across the Western Pacific in that direction. This will be likely during the first 7 days of July. So watch out. We have 2 systems that could enhance the southwest monsoon across the Philippines, particularly the western sections of our Luzon, Visayas, Mekkhala, and Western Mindanao. So let's proceed now with our blow-by-blow account of these systems. Here's the zoom in satellite animation. Right now, the Bicol region is having some drier conditions. Very limited thunderstorm activity during the past 12 hours. But tomorrow, which is going to be Saturday, June 27, we expect another afternoon chances of thunderstorms. And here's the southwest monsoon is starting to retreat over the West Philippine Sea as the twin cyclones, Francisco and 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗃, is no longer enhancing this winds, although it's still there over the West Philippine Sea, affecting the Calayan Island group, as well as the coastal waters of Western Luzon and Western Palawan. And we have here potential thunderstorm activity for the next 3 days, as another 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶 is set to form here. Most likely this will become 96W, as this area will again pick up some convection based on what the computer models are predicting. Now here's the global, the multi-track from different Asian agencies monitoring former Francisco or tropical storm Mekkhala, and it's now approaching. It's currently in the vicinity of the northern Ryukyus, and it's moving towards the offshore areas of southern Japan, and this will bring heavy rains, thunderstorms across the 3 major islands of Japan, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu within the next 24 hours. Since it's a fast-moving system, it's gonna be swift. The conditions here will gonna be a quick passage of these thunderstorms and rainfall. And that's Mekkhala. It's currently at 65 kph and could become a frontal system or extratropical cyclone. Now here's the Higos or 𝗗𝗃𝗃. If you use the Filipino name, it's currently here to the south of southwestern Honshu. And it has weakened dramatically from 100 kph to 65 because of its very small nature, and it's currently being absorbed with the passage of the frontal system here, and it's likely to become part of that frontal system. So this is gonna be the end of that short-lived Higos or 𝗗𝗃𝗃. Now here's the latest forecast models. So let's begin with the American model, then followed by the European model. So American model is not keen of developing this 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶 over Palau, and it looks like it's just gonna be a surface trough or tropical wave to the east of northern Mindanao. So tomorrow, Sunday, it will be there, but 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗃 95W remains healthy over the Marshall Islands. Monday, June 29, it looks like there might be a little of a circulation here, 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶, moving towards the area of Palau. And here comes 95W. Last day of June, it looks like 95W could be upgraded into a tropical depression, while the LPA here east of Samar or east of Surigao is not yet developing. And on Wednesday, first day of July, here comes tropical storm, severe tropical storm. Okay, moving towards the eastern Micronesia, and most likely this could become Vavi, VAVI. That will be the next name. Okay, and then on Thursday, July 2nd, it's gonna be a typhoon. It's quite small or midget sized TC as it moved towards the west northwest in the general direction of the northernmost Mariana Islands. So that will be the forecast for the next 7 days, which is high to medium probability. Now let's move to the 6th up to the 14-day forecast, which is highly uncertain. It shows here the system is moving west-northwest, and on July 7, it will pass across the northernmost parts of Marianas as a Category 4 typhoon. It looks like this is another candidate of becoming a super typhoon because the past storm, Francisco or Mekkhala, didn't reach super typhoon step, although PAGASA upgraded it since it's on the parameter of 185 10-minute average, while JTWC remains at 230. And American model is also forecasting another LPA here of the West Philippine Sea. So that's the scenario on July 7, which is highly uncertain. 8, 9, 10, and 11, it will move into the southern islands of Japan. So for UQs, please pay attention on this system if we are dealing on the American model. And there's another one that will form to the east of the Marianas, another tropical storm, which is likely with very low probability, highly uncertain on the 14th-day forecast. So that will be on July 11th. And look at the southwest monsoon is very active because of the wet phase of the moderate Julian oscillation, enhancing more convection, more rainfall across the Asia Pacific region. So that's the forecast. Okay, and if we take a look at the European model, Sunday we have here LPA, new one forming, probably it could become 96W invest. Monday, becoming an active LPA east of the Borongan, Eastern Samar, and on Tuesday, last day of the month of June, it's likely to become a active LPA, or maybe a weak or a minimal tropical depression. If it does, this will be named Henry. That's the next name on the list of PAGASA tropical cyclone names for 2026. So June 30, it could pass over Bicol region as a tropical depression or an active LPA. So depending on the organization of the forecast based from the European model, which is a physics-based model, and it's the leader when it comes to tropical cyclone forecast. And then they are also forecasting this LPA 95W becoming a tropical depression on the last day of June. July 1st, the low pressure area that passed over Bicol and southern Tagalog provinces, including Metro Manila, it's now emerging over the West Philippine Sea, becoming a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Southwest monsoon affecting Palawan, Mindoro, so expect heavy rainfall, flooding, or landslides are highly possible. That's the forecast of the European model, 4-day forecast until July 1st, and here comes 95W becoming a tropical depression. Now we move now on the 5th day of the forecast, tropical depression, 95W here, and here comes the other one of the West Philippine Sea becoming a tropical storm. So probably it could become the next storm that may affect Hainan, one of the few during the time of Super El Nino. And then if we move the slider forward, the storm here over the West Philippine Sea is still there. And here comes now 95W becoming a very strong system, moving past the north of Northern Marianas. So 6, 7, July 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The track is similar to that of the American model, but this is more Japanese. This is more mainland of. This is more to the northwest, heading towards the Honshu area. So if we are dealing with the European model, this is gonna be a serious situation for Tokyo or metropolitan Tokyo come July 11. But remember, the forecast of 14 days remain highly uncertain and very low probability, less than 10 or less than 20%. So it's not yet sure. Okay, now let's take a look at the Google DeepMind. Here's the system, the two systems. Those are active tropical cyclones. And for the next 24 hours, it will begin. Now let's focus our attention on these ensemble circles of the Google DeepMind. There are two here. So the Google DeepMind is not developing the system that is expected to pass over Bicol and southern Tagalog provinces during the last day of June. But the system over the Marshall Islands is the one that we are going to keep an eye of, pay attention closely, and then look at that. It's a powerful system, but it's starting to disperse, meaning that the forecast probability will remain medium or low. So that's the scenario of 95W. If we take a look at it separately, let's begin with the system east of Samar. So it shows here that it will cross Luzon as a low pressure area. There are only 2 or 3 dots, meaning it's not at very high probability for the Google DeepMind AI of Google. But if we take a look on the other system, 95W, it's very aggressive. Color purple, meaning that the winds here is at category 4. That will be on July 7. Moving across the North Philippine Sea again, it's already the 4th system that have passed over this area. So it's really going to be an El Nino year, probably one of the strongest or the strongest El Nino that being observed for the past 100 years. So that's the scenario. We are going to keep an eye on 95W as well as the small one here to the east of Samar. Now for the rainfall, if we are going to use the reliable ECMWF, every afternoon we expect thunderstorms all across the country in a hit or miss situation. Because localized thunderstorms are very difficult to forecast. There are some that says 90%, but it's only happening on the nearby town. So it's sometimes it's like that. Okay, Sunday, here comes now the LPA developing east of Samar, and then on Monday afternoon we are going to experience some thunderstorm activity across the Bicol region, eastern Visayas, parts of central Visayas, and then on June 30 it will start to bring 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall across Samar and northern Leyte. That will be early morning of Tuesday, last day of June. And then it will also affect Masbate. Okay. The rest of Bicol will be experiencing scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, not much, below 50 millimeters. But still, we don't know. That's a 3-day forecast. Let's hope that it will not shift. Let's hope that it won't develop. Okay. But the main bulk of the rainfall are over Masbate and Romblon on the last day of June. And then on the evening of June 30th, it will dump heavy rainfall of more than 100 millimeters across Mindoro in span of just, maybe this is just only 6 hours. And then on Wednesday, it will be out over the West Philippine Sea, becoming a tropical storm. So that's the forecast from the precipitation forecast of ECMWF. Now for the 24-hour rainfall accumulation forecast from ECMWF, if we move the slider on Sunday, it will be isolated thunderstorms across the country, those blue and light yellow green. And then on Monday, Tuesday, here comes now the LPA, bringing rainfall of more than 50 millimeters across eastern Visayas and southern Bicol, as you can see here. July 1st, as the system traverses southern Tagalog provinces, expect the southwest monsoon to bring heavy rainfall here, 50 to 100 millimeters across Palawan, Calamian, Occidental Mindoro, Western Visayas, including Guimaras and the western sections of Negros Island region, also including Masbate and the western sections of Bicol region. So that includes areas like Pascao, Balatan, and the western sections of Albay and Sorsogon. Metro Manila will not be spurred by this rainfall, so expect during the July 1 to 2. But the rainfall are more concentrated here, the southwest monsoon across Palawan, Occidental Mindoro, and western Visayas, as well as Romblon, Boracay. Expect 50 to 100 millimeters if the forecast will push through. Okay, but since it's moving fast, it will be just a one-day affair of this heavy rainfall. Okay. For the wave heights, it's gonna be light to moderate over the East Philippine Sea, up to a meter in wave heights. That's gonna be tomorrow, Sunday. And West Philippine Sea is also up to more than 1 meter. Still suitable for fishing and sea travel, particularly over the central waters of our country. Gonna be calm to 0.2 meters in wave height, 0.2 meter. Okay. And if we move this slider on the last day of June, here comes the LPA. This is gonna generate some up to 2 meters of wave heights on the last day of June. And then on July 1 and July 2nd until July 3, here comes to the southwest monsoon. Here comes now the southwest monsoon, going to create some 3-meter waves across the offshore areas of Palawan, Mindoro, and western Luzon. So please take all necessary precautions. Those who are planning to have some fishing activities during the first 3 days of July, please observe the weather conditions or the sea conditions, because there might be the southwest monsoon and tropical depression or tropical storm if it pushes through. Okay, and then here's the latest from the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, valid for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And it looks like July 1 to July 7, the Philippines is at medium chance of more than 40% of tropical cyclone formation over the west and east Philippine seas. Then we have another here, more than 25% probability. This is the area of LPA 95W. And on week 3, which is highly uncertain, July 8 to July 14, there's another formation here of more than 40 and more than 60% over the Marshall Islands. This is going to be the area of cyclone genesis, okay, formation of tropical cyclones for this season, because of the ongoing very strong, or predicting it to become a very strong El Nino. That's the reason why formation of tropical cyclones is between Guam and the international dateline, which is, it makes sense. During this time of an impending super El Nino or very strong El Nino, expect formation of these cyclones to be farther away to the east, away from the country. Okay, so yeah, and the rainfall is more than 80%, okay, probability above average. during this time of the habagat season, the southwest monsoon. Now, tropical cyclone threat potential 𝗶𝗶𝘀𝗶𝗺 is also the same, showing the current system, Higos and Francisco, and this area of two formation, west and east of the country. To the West Philippine Sea, it's going to be a low chance, while to the east is up to medium chance. And on July 2 to July 8, medium chance of a tropical cyclone over Taiwan area of Batanes and over the Gulf of Tonkin, in the area of the Hainan Island, and low probability formation over the Marianas on July 2 to 8. But this might be upgraded depending on the progress of tropical disturbance or LPA 90 95W. So we will let you know. Now let's take a look at the moderate general installation for June 26 to July 10. It looks like we are moving into the wet phase, but it's got to be closer to the circle and got to be strong over the West Philippine Sea, east of the Philippines. So expect that until July 10. And here's the forecast until July 10. You can see that the outgoing radiation is not much. It's being absorbed by the ocean. So meaning we're going to the wet phase of the moderate oscillation. Expect more thunderstorms, more enhanced rainfall. Okay, and then let's take a look at the European model. Same situation. We have a wet phase for the next 14 days across the Western Pacific. That could blossom many formation, especially this one from the MJO of Bureau of Meteorology Australia. Here's the initial one, and then for the next how many days is this? 20 days, 30 days, 1 month. It's gonna be a very intense wet phase. The Philippines is located here at this area, so expect that we will be experiencing this kind of enhanced convection. Now let's take a look at the okay, so that will be the end of our update for this Friday late evening, 11:30, and we will return most likely this coming Sunday. It's gonna be I have an appointment tomorrow, Saturday, so by Sunday we'll give you the very latest on the LPA, the potential LPA east of Mindanao, and then 95W, which is set to roam the Western Pacific all the way up to southern islands of Japan for the next 1 week. Okay, or beginning July 1st to July 7 or 8. So please stay tuned for more updates. Again, this is Mike, Mr. Typhoon Padua. We'll see you again this weekend. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Stay safe always, and God bless.